we are back for an early bird Wednesday milk crate moment with the productivity queen herself. Listen, I love when Christine Rothdeutsch comes and visits the milk crate moment. Number one, she always has another milk crate moment because if you're an entrepreneur, Christine, what do you say? If you're an entrepreneur, what do you say? Right? You have a milk crate moment every other day, right?
Oh, yeah, every other day. Yeah, sure.
So she had no idea what I was saying. So here's the thing. Today we're going to be talking about her latest milk crate moment, which I think is fascinating, as well as personal development growth in herself. And she's going to she's going to be sharing another productivity uh, tool with you. And I think, listen, you guys, I hope you're here. I hope you stay till we deliver that because we're going to drop it after Christine's done talking. So stick around because she's got something really, really profitably, potentially cool for you. It's actually really cool, but it says profitability potential that she has for you. So let's go. Christine, what's your milk crate moment?
So, yeah, go ahead. So the name of the show is Milk Crate Moments, but for me, it really wasn't a moment in time. It was a long time coming, can I say? In that when I went into business, it's like, yes, I'm going to hang my shingles out and I'm going to get business. And then I learned I needed coaching. I needed to learn how to do business. And that's how you and I met, is through a business coach that we were both working with at the time. And I just felt like, just teach me how to do business. Just show me what I need to do. I'm a great learner. I can do this. And yeah, it still wasn't really happening for me. I knew that there was other stuff going on. Let's talk about milk crate moments. How often? It's like, how many rabbit holes do you go down in a week? You get lost in wallowing in things. And so this past year, I was introduced to the concept of what NLP. I'd heard about NLP in the past. I'm like, yeah. What? Yeah, that's just not me. Yeah. Going into the minds, yeah, that's just not me. But I heard a presentation about it and about your intuition, about listening to your intuition and your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and all these different thoughts of like how it all plays into who we are. And I'm like, maybe this is my missing piece. Maybe I don't need all that business stuff and I need to work on me. Do you want to quickly clarify what a milk crate moment is, Jean?
I do because somebody's asked. And so a milk crate moment, and I'm going to just go back, if you don't mind, Christine, and tell what mine was and how this
Mhm.
all started. Is that okay?
Mhm.
So my milk crate moment was, and where this all came from was when I bought my first bankrupt business. 2 weeks after I bought it, I was sitting in the kitchen. It was a chocolate store, and I was sitting on an upside down milk crate, literally sobbing that I had made the biggest financial mistake of my life. And I really had a good meltdown, kind of what Christine's talking about, right? That negative self talk that we're always doing, where you will be talking about that negative self talk that we are feed ourselves every day. And after about a good 20-minute cry, I got my butt up off that milk crate and knew I had a plan, and I went to work and I turned that business around within 12 months. So I think milk crate moments are those pieces that we have in our business where we come to a crossroads. And that's what Christine is saying here today, is that she thought she just needed to learn other business skills she did not have, right?
Mhm.
But Christine, because I was answering that, thank you, Facebook user. She says, whoever that is says they love that. And, but really, Christine, there was a crossroads there, right? Because you
Mhm.
didn't, but you couldn't see it at the time.
No, no.
So let's tell us, start there at the crossroads and then give us a recoup back into that, please.
Right. So, like I say, I'm a very black and white person in that it's like you just do the work and just know the technology and do the system. I'm a systems person, and it's just do that and you'll be successful, not taking into account that all of this is very much on the surface. in our conscious mind. And I went to a 5-day masterclass then this past year to start learning about this stuff. And on day 2 already, I was blown away by the potential of what this work can do for me. And I made the decision to go into that program and learn about my intuition, about my conscious mind, my unconscious mind. Because what is said is that your conscious mind sets your goal, your unconscious mind goes and gets it. And
Mm.
if they're not
Say
working
that again.
together,
Say that again. That's
your
really yummy.
your conscious mind sets your goals. Think about it. You're setting your goals, you're making your vision board, you're making your list. It's your unconscious mind that goes and gets the goal. So,
Wow.
yeah, if they're not working together, if they're not integrated, that's why you're not achieving your goals. That's
Oh
why
my
things
God.
aren't changing.
So now how did that become, so tell us a story about how, when once you've done this work, this NPL work, NLP work, tell us how you, tell us where that, a story about, you told me a great story. That's really what I want you to tell, right? Such a great story of, and and how it changed you almost immediately.
Well, it wasn't immediately. Again, I was going through the learnings, the modules, and the trainers, one Jen and Carson had always said that with this work, if you have a challenge in your life, maybe it's a person, just saying, and when you go through this work, you're working on yourself. You're changing yourself, and that challenge will either go away, that challenge will change, or that challenge doesn't change, but it doesn't bother you anymore. So for me, when I got into the week long training back in June, I was in awe that personally, my challenge and I had some great conversations of which it wouldn't have happened in the past. I came away from like, whoa, who was that person? What's, and I was like, oh, this stuff works. I was like, work on myself and things around me change.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, even before that, when I came into all of this work, the doubting Thomas. Okay, I'm like, yes, I want to learn this. It's gonna work and everything. I'm like, yeah, sure. And back, oh God, months ago, March or something like that, I was given what they call a trauma release, and it's not saying I had any huge trauma in my life, but it was just so it's like a 3-4 hour session, and half of it you're working on figuring out what you need to release, and the second half is the release, and it's called timeline therapy. You sit, and this is on Zoom. You float above your timeline, you float back to when that happened. And I'm here, yeah, right, like, sure, this is gonna work, yeah, sure, yeah, right, doubting time, like, yeah. um I gave myself motion sickness on Zoom.
Oh, that's crazy.
I didn't realize it at the time. It wasn't until the next day, and I was still sick the next day. I made it through the session. It was not fun, but I laugh about it now because I'm in awe of what our brains are capable of. I realize that's exactly how I feel when I get motion sickness. I'm like, I gave myself motion sickness on Zoom. Oh my God. And like I say, I went into it the doubting Thomas, like, oh, is this gonna work? Like, yeah, sure. I'm telling my brain I'm floating. Yeah, right. And I did. I did. So the work is it's ongoing. It's not like, okay, now I'm trained, now I'm an NLP coach, which I am. I'm certified in multiple areas now, but I still have to keep working on myself. But I see this as such a huge piece for everyone. When you think about how many people say, oh, I'm afraid to pick up the phone and make that sales call. I'm afraid to do this. Oh, this isn't working right. It's because of what's going on up here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to bring this into my business of productivity. I can build systems and processes and get you organized. But if you're still not doing what you need to do, something else is going on.
And it's most likely in your head.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's built upon our past, everything that has gone on, especially when we were very little. That's when it's imprinted in us. And through this work, I learned to identify events. And story is not important. We don't have to figure out what that story is. It's just it's listening to our intuition of telling us this something happened at the age of 3. Don't know exactly what it was, but this was the emotion I felt. And that's what's caused me to be who I am today. Well, guess what? We can release that
Mm.
and then install what we do want in ourselves.
Did
And
you
again,
Let me ask a question. When you did that trauma release,
mhm.
was that a group call on
Nope.
Zoom?
No,
Was it
no,
private?
that was one-on-one. Yep.
And
Mhm.
you do that for your clients?
I'm not up to doing trauma releases. I will do breakthroughs. A breakthrough is similar. That's a multi-session thing of doing breakthroughs of because first it's the coaching part of it and the coaching, it's again, I love to ask questions, so this fit right in with me of
Yeah.
knowing how to ask the right questions to have the client discover for themselves what's going on. And that they show up with what they think the problem is, and we dig all the way down. Here's where the real problem is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So, I want you to tell this if you feel comfortable telling the story about what you told me about a conversation with your husband.
Well, the husband is the challenge. I'll admit. Um, as I okay, so one of my recent 30-second commercials is that I've been married 35, I don't know, 30, I lost count of how many years been married. Not, I'll admit, not a great marriage. It's challenging for the last few years. And over the years, I went to a relationship coach. I worked with a relationship coach. Yeah, that didn't work. We went to marriage counseling. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, I worked on myself? Wow. That's like I say, conversations in the past, before you know it, the tensions rise and something gets said, and oh, he just doesn't understand what I'm talking about. But we had several conversations that I was like, whoa, that was a really nice conversation. It went in depth. It wasn't just on the surface. And I'm like, wow, that is awesome. So it's starting as we say, locally for me, personally,
Yeah.
the work is paying off, and over time, I'm excited at the prospects for my business of how it's going to play out for my business as I continue to work on myself. Um,
I've known you
yeah.
for a long time, right? I've known you for several years,
Mhm,
and I would say you are definitely a show me first, right?
mhm,
It's like,
mhm,
okay, yes, you say that's going to happen, but you show me first, right?
mhm. Yeah.
You have lost all of that, right? You have I the change, and this is why it was so important for me to have Christine back on the show because ooh, I didn't know that I have a messy drawer there. Why this became so important for me to have Christine back on the show is because she's I I literally saw and felt the change in her, that she wasn't asking me to prove it to her or show her, or she's like, okay, right? Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, last week was different than this week, and it's been that way for a while. What happened? So Christine, I've even said that to you, right? The difference
Mhm,
is like night and day when you start working on yourself, right?
mhm, mhm.
I grew up in a home where everything was negative, right? Everything was negative. Never had enough money. With 4 kids, we had a 2-bedroom home. All 4 girls shared a 10 by 10 room.
Mm.
And I knew immediately that I wanted more. And I not only did I changed my life, right? To get and I started working on I found personal development at like 26.
Mm.
And not necessarily NLP work, but personal development work through teachers like Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and people like that, Charlie Tremendous Jones. And I feel like that is what helped change my life. Now, could I use a little bit of that trauma release? Probably, right? But, but because I do believe we all still have things that are
Mhm.
holding us back, and probably that's one of them. And I just love everything you've said here today.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing, personal development, like I say, I went for years of like, I just need the skills, the hard skill, teach me business, teach me what I had to do. And like, I've heard of personal development in the past, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't got time for that. And in fact, in this work now, I've met numerous people that when I say, "So, do you meditate?" And they're like, "Meditation? Oh my god, that takes so long. I don't have time." Well, you don't have time not to, because when you're going, 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 and just bringing in more information constantly, your conscious and unconscious minds can't, use all that information. It's yeah, we all need to slow down. And the personal development, oh my god, it's critical, and do something
right.
uh in that area.
Well, before we drop your link, I am going to take 60 seconds here and talk up to women who see this podcast about the Second Act event coming up in October. The Second Act event is for women business owners over 50. Oh, I don't know why they always call during my podcast. The Second Act event is for women over 50. They're business owners and they want more. They want more business. They want more travel. They want more fun in their life. They want more time, right? And yet they still are not willing to give up their business because they know they're still relevant, and they understand that you need to have something in your life, because look how many men retire and die, right? They retire and literally 2 months later they're gone. So women understand that they still want to be relevant. They want to stay connected with other women as well. So the Second Act conference for women is coming up October 25th, 26th, and 27th. And I created a little piece here. So I am going to drop that right now. Listen, we're on early bird pricing right now. It's live in person. There is none of that virtual crap here. We are live in person, connecting, hugging, smiling, talking to people face to face. Secondactevent.com is where you can get your tickets. I will leave that there. Now, Christine, coming back to you. You created something for people who want to know more about NLP, right? Who want to know how they can start to activate their subconscious minds, so that they've set the goal with their conscious mind, and now they want to get the goal with their subconscious mind, correct?
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've put things out there of, here's how you do this, and here's, and again, here's a system for you, here's systems you need in your business. And again, I thought, I took a step back and I said, but what do they really need to know? Even if they have those systems in place. And I realized it was more in a self-assessment of really looking at themselves, of how they operate. How are they spending their time? What are they thinking? So I put together this very short 10-question assessment. It's my profitability potential assessment. I have to find another P word to go with that. It's a mouthful. It's the profitability potential assessment, 10 short questions to see where you are in your business. And it gives you feedback of you know, maybe, you answered a question, not quite that's going to get you to be profitable. So I give you some feedback on what the problem really might be. Because here too, we all think we know what the problem is, but we don't. We need somebody else to be asking us questions to really dig deep to find out what the real problem is. So you can get that at christineroth.com/MCM for Milk Crate Moments.
Hold on, I am dropping that into the chat too, so that it shows up on the Facebook pages and the social media pages.
Mhm.
There we go. I put that in there, but now let me grab that other piece here. I'm just going to type it in. Christine Roth, because Rothdeutsch, nobody would know how to spell that.
Yes.
It's christineroth.com/MCM, which stands for
Milk Crate
Milk
Moments.
Crate Moment. Listen, if you have a Milk Crate moment and you think you would be a great guest here to share your Milk Crate moment, I would love to have you. Just drop me a line on any of my social media and listen, Google me. You can find my phone number. It's out there for everybody in the world to see. So, Christine, thank you for coming here. Thank you for sharing your assessment, which I think so many people will find such tremendous value with. And you guys, listen, I've known Christine for a long time. I wish you knew her. I wish you saw her 6 months ago. This is a different woman, right? But you know what the best part about this woman is? She's really happy now. She's happy all the time. She smiles all the time. That was not that way 6 months ago. So the work
Yeah.
that she has done on herself is what she wants to teach you as well. So, and Facebook user, Clarine, if you're still here, I want to thank you for the chats today. The one that's coming up, Facebook user, I want to thank you. I appreciate all of you for being here. And Christine, I love you. I adore you. I'm so glad that you always are willing to come back and be a guest here on my show. She looks lighter. She does look lighter. So that makes me think that it's somebody you know. So, all right. Have a great day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jean. It was pleasure. I'm so happy to get on here and chat with you anytime.
I love that. I love that. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.